Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya.
Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Prakashaya Sutta Shri Srimad Bhagavatam Sam Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Guru and Is it 14? Wait, it might, oh, this is where the bookmark was. 14. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We're reading from Canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 14, Verse 1. King Chitraketu's Lamentation. So I'll read the summary. In this 14th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj asks his spiritual master, Shukadeva Goswami, how such a demon as Rittashura could become an exalted devotee. In this connection, the previous life of Rittashura is discussed. This involves the story of Chitraketu and how he was victimized by lamentation because of the death of his son. Among many millions of entities, the number of human beings is extremely small, and among human beings who are actually religious, only some are eager to be liberated from material existence. Among many thousands of people who desire relief from material existence, one is freed from association of unwanted persons or is relieved of material contamination. And among many millions of such liberated persons, one may become a devotee of Lord Narayani. Therefore, such devotees are extremely rare. Since Bhakti devotional service is not ordinary, Parikshit Maharaj was astonished that an asura could rise to the exalted position of a devotee. Being doubtful, Parikshit Maharaj inquired from Shukadeva Goswami, who then described Rittashura with reference to his previous birth as Chitraketu, the king of Shurasena. Chitraketu, who had no sons, got an opportunity to meet the great sage Angira. When Angira inquired from the king about his welfare, the king expressed his moroseness, and therefore, by the grace of the great sage, the king's first wife, Krita Juti, gave birth to a son who was the cause of both happiness and lamentation. Upon the birth of this son, the king and all the residents of the palace were very happy. The co-wives of Krita Juti, however, were envious, and later they administered poison to the child. Chitraketu was overwhelmed by shock at his son's death. Then Narada Muni and Angira went to see him. So verse 1. Shri Parikshita Vacha
Shri Parikshita Vacha
Rajastamas Bhavasya
Rajastamas Bhavasya
Brahman Vritra Sapakmana
Brahman Vitrasya Bhavana
Narayane Bhagavati
Narayane bhavati.
Kathamase jidhamati.
Kathamasi dridhamati.
Shri Parikshitavacha.
Shri Parikshituvacha
Rajastamasvabhasya.
Rajastamasvabhavasya
Brahman Vitrasya Papmana.
Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha
Narayane Bhagavati.
Narayane Bhavati
Kathamase jidhamati.
Katham Asidridhamati.
Shri Parikshitavacha.
Shri Parikshituvacha
Rajastamasvabhasya.
Rajastamasvabhavasya
Brahman Vitrasya Papmana.
Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha
Narayane Bhagavati.
Narayane Bhavati
Tatham Asididhamati.
Katham Asidridhamati.
Sri Parikshit Uvacha.
Shri Parikshituvacha
Rajastamasvabhavasya.
Rajastamasvabhavasya
Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha.
Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha
Narayane Bhagavati.
Narayane Bhagavati
Katham Asi Dridhamati.
Katham Asidridhamati. Shri Parikshituvacha
Shri Parikshit Uvacha.
Rajastamasvabhavasya
Rajastamasvabhavasya.
Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha
Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha.
Narayane Bhagavati
Narayane Bhagavati.
Katham Asidridhamati.
Katham Asi Dridhamati. Shri Parikshit Uvacha.
Rajastamasvabhavasya Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha Narayane Bhagavati Katham Asidridhamati.
Shri Parikshitavacha.
Shri Parikshituvacha
King Parikshit inquired,
King Parikshit inquired,
Raja,
Raja
of the mode of passion,
of
the mode of passion,
Tamaha,
Tamaha,
and of the mode of ignorance,
and of the mode of ignorance,
Sabhavasya,
Svabhavasya,
having a nature,
having a nature,
Brahman,
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 O learned Brahmana,
O learned Brahmana,
Vritasya,
Vritrasya,
Avitrasura,
of Vritrasura,
Papmanaha,
Papmanaha,
who was supposedly sinful,
who was supposedly sinful,
Narayane,
Narayane,
in Lord Narayana,
in Lord Narayana,
Bhagavati,
Bhagavati,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Katam,
Katham,
how,
how,
Asit,
Asit,
was there,
was there,
Vita,
Vritha,
very strong,
very strong,
Mati,
Mati,
consciousness,
consciousness,
Translation Vishnu Prabhupada. King Correction inquired from Shukadeva Goswami, all learned Brahmana, demons are generally sinful, being obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. How then could Vikashura have attained such exalted love for Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana? Report. In this material world, everyone is obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. However, unless one conquers these modes and comes to the platform of goodness, there is no chance of one's becoming a pure devotee. This is confirmed by Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita 7.8. Yeshantan kudram papam samanam puryakanam idannamo mokta prajante mam pidha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and who are free from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Since Ritu was among the demons, Maharaj Parikshit wondered, how is it possible for him to have become such an exalted devotee? Mukam karati. What? But
Mukham karoti vachalam.
Mukkam karati vachalam bhagam langate bim yati pantam vande sivram kimatavinam Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanam Shalakaya Chakshumilitam Yena Tassamashikute. So, when I was reading this, I was thinking about us who became devotees, although we were born in the family of demons, perhaps, some of us. Of course, everyone's born Shudra in the Yoga. And so one time, one of my godbrothers, his name was Vajrahari. He was telling Prabhupada how he had such a hard time working in a factory. He was in the factory and it was a steel factory. So they had all these big, huge molten iron things that he had to control. And they put him on the night shift. And he said he almost had a nervous breakdown trying to work in this factory. So then Srila Prabhupada said yes, because in the last life you were all Brahmins and we were all together, and now we're here again, together again. And so sometimes he would say that, yes, past lives we were all devotees. And sometimes he would say, well, I have made all your pious credits. So in this verse here, it talks about pious credits, punya karmanam, that in the previous lives, persons who acted piously in previous lives and in this life, they can engage in service with dridha vratapa, with very great determination. And this verse also contains the Sanskrit word dridha mati, very strong mind, strong consciousness. So Shura, although he was a demon, he had a very strong spiritual life, actually. He was preaching to Indra, and he was saying, you kill me, because I'm going back to God, and you're going to stay here and rot in this material world. Just let me go. I'm going back to Godhead. And how could he say that? He's supposed to be a demon who's supposed to kill Indra. And he's saying, no, you kill me. Because they probably chanted the mantra wrong, I think, when they, before the birth of Vritashura. Instead of a demon who's going to kill Indra, Indra's going to kill him. If you chant one syllable wrong in the mantra, you get the opposite effect. So that's why we can't do sacrifices in this age of Kali. To get a son, to get a daughter, to get, a pure devotee even. So, Vritashura, how is it possible that a demon could have pure love of Godhead? Well, Prabhupada talks about the modes passion and ignorance. Let's see, in this summary, we're saying out of thousands, among millions, of course, of living entities, few human beings, among human beings who are religious, some want to go back to God and be liberated. So, even from our experience, how many of us were religious before we joined this movement? Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America and he preached, he said, that he was preaching Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadhamam Pritijamam Kamsharam Vrishal, that abandon all religion and surrender to me, and I'll protect you from all sinful reactions. And so one time he was quoting this verse and he said, you've already abandoned all kinds of religious activities, so just surrender to Krishna. And it's a fact that, we didn't have any idea of real religion. I was a Christian, went to the church. When I was 13 years old, I was looking at all the people and I was thinking, they're coming here to gossip and show their clothes and to talk about the latest news, and they don't really believe in Jesus. I believe, but they don't. I just understood that, none of them seemed to be really spiritual people. Although they were at church, but they weren't doing spiritual activities. So that's the difference with Mr. Prabhupada, who taught us how to 24 hours be engaged in spiritual activities. Oh, that's really wonderful. So let's see here, among many thousands so those who want liberation, some want to be liberated, among thousands of those, then one may get liberated. And among millions of liberated persons, you get one devotee. And so, yeah, I don't know how we came from the liberated persons, but when you start Krishna consciousness, yeah, Srila Prabhupada says, yes, you're on the spiritual platform, you are liberated. And so, yes, very few want to go back to Godhead out of religious people or liberated, even liberated, those who, of course, liberated could mean the impersonalists, and they don't want to go back to Godhead. If you count all the impersonalists and all the devotees together, then yeah, you'll get out of millions of those who want to be liberated, they want to see the light or be God. You get one devotee out of all the impersonalists in the world. And so yes, so we were very fortunate. We did create pious activities. Bhagavatam says, Shindatam Sokata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Vedanta Stavapatrani Vitanoti Savit Satam. That just by hearing and chanting Bhagavatam, you get pious activities. Now, what kind of pious activities you get? Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about 3 kinds of pious activities. There's karma. If you do good karma, you get some good karma in this life. So there's karma flow, karma punya karma flow, and then there's punya jnana flow. If you do some renunciation, if you practice austerities, renunciation, you get that kind of pious karma. You get jnana flow. You get jnana flow. And if you do bhakti, you get bhakti flow. You do some devotional service, and you get pious activities from bhakti. So this would seem to mean that those who have done bhakti in previous lives, of course, the pious people, they're not so much in passion and ignorance. We might find a few people like that in this world. Now it's very rare. It's easier for them to become devotees also. They're a little bit in the mode of goodness, so that helps. If they've done pious activities, even the karma and jnani pious activities will help you to become a devotee, because there's a difference between somebody who comes to Krishna consciousness and somebody who does not. Gita says there's 4 kinds of pious people who come: those who are in stress, those who are in search of money, those who are curious, and those who are in knowledge. And so those 4 types of people come, and they get purified and become pure devotees also. And so, Vishura, his past life, he had darshan of the Lord. He was such a high. He was liberated for sure. He was liberated, and he got darshan of the Lord. Of course, then he did get cursed to be a demon, and so he had to act like a demon, because that's what he got. That's his body he got. So he was acting like a demon, ready to kill Indra, because that was the purpose of his birth, his life. But actually, he did show his spiritual life, his prema, by the beautiful prayers he chanted. I think in chapter 11 of Bhagavatam. Prayers that showed he had prema, love of Godhead. And so that was amazing. And now we're going to hear how he got punya in the previous life, in his previous life as Chitraketu. So all of us, we have that chance to advance from human form of life to become pure devotees. Now, who will help us? What will help us in this advancement? Mahabharata, Yudhishthira was asked a question: who is our best friend? And Yudhishthira answered, intelligence is our best friend. So Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, talks about 3 divisions of intelligence: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. And the soul goes through these, and the super soul watches us. So where does this intelligence come from? Transformation of false ego in passion. This is from 3rd canto, 26th chapter. The functions of intelligence are to help in ascertaining nature of objects, and they come into view to help the senses. Now, the purport says intelligence is the discriminating power to understand an object, helps the senses make choices. Therefore, intelligence is supposed to be master of the senses. The perfection of intelligence is attained when one becomes fixed in activities of Krishna consciousness. So we expand when we become Krishna conscious. We expand our consciousness. Our consciousness expands. And so Super Soul, he's there and he's helping us. Krishna is sitting in our heart, and he's giving us facility. I wonder if I mentioned that here. No, I think, anyway, here in Finland, I was going for a walk down the path here, and I saw many people walking their dogs. That's something they do here. Not in India, the dogs are just run wild, run loose. They don't have anyone to pick them up. They just go around. But they suffer a lot because people do abuse them. But here, they take care of the dogs. And so the dog, he does whatever he likes. He's on the leash though, and the master stops, he waits, okay, do your business. And then he's just waiting for him and to take him home. So same thing is Super Soul. We're like the dogs on the leash, Prabhupada says. And Super Soul is letting us go out for a walk and run and do things. But he's just waiting for us to go home with him, back to Godhead. That's a very nice analogy of Super Soul and us. And what does Krishna ask? He said, little leaf, flower, fruit, and water. That's all I want. And he's not asking much. Of course, he's asking surrender too, so that's a lot. But otherwise, how to worship him, it's not so difficult. And he just says, why are you suffering here? You give up all this nonsense and surrender to me. Another translation by Srila Prabhupada, that verse. You give up all varieties of religion. And so, yes, Super Soul also, he helps us. He brings us to Krishna. Krishna says in Gita, Kesham Satatayutanam Vachatam Pidipurvakam Dadami Buddhiyogam Tam Yena Mama Vinantite. I give you the buddhi. I give you intelligence. How you can come to me. But, so Super Soul, he gives us that intelligence. He's a reservoir of intelligence. When we chant, we can connect with him. But in Gita, it says, not only does he make us remember, he makes us forget too. So he can make us forget. So in that way, Srila Prabhupada gives an analogy that Super Soul is like an expert director of a play, a drama. Expert director makes the actor forget his real identity to become the part he is playing. The more he forgets, the more he plays the part nicely. So, Super Soul makes us forget our real identity. To become, these different, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm Finnish, I'm Danish, I'm Swedish, I'm American, I'm Indian. And we forget who we are. Yes, but his advice is don't get entangled. In another translation of Sarvadharma Prityaja, don't get entangled in these activities, just send it to me. So if you want to forget, he helps you. If you want to remember, he will also help you. Whatever you desire, he knows. And he gives you a chance to fulfill your desires. So if everyone's desires are fulfilled, why not the woman's desires too? And he will fulfill our desires. We have some desire for service, then he will help us. And so, yes, we have to understand Krishna with our intelligence, yes. And mental speculators, they cannot understand Krishna, unfortunately, because they're in the mental speculation platform. It's their mind, just like Srila Prabhupada talks about a mental speculator exchange. In Shikari Goswami's prayers, he says they are in this mental speculator exchange. So we have that nowadays. It's very popular. It's called Facebook. What's on your mind? We have mental speculator exchange. And, yeah, and there was one funny, comment about, one person. He said, yeah, I decided that I won't just stay on the mental level. I'm gonna try and do Facebook, in real life instead of virtually. So he started going up to strangers and telling him what he ate yesterday and how he slept and how he went swimming. And he said, and I got 4 followers, 2 policemen, a psychiatrist, and I forgot the other one. Yeah, anyway. Oh, a detective. And so he said, so this is how happening now. It's, really. And you can't tell the real news from the fake news also. It could be another expansion of mental speculative exchange. So, but we are following the path of Buddha Yoga, path of intelligence, yoga of intelligence, and it's direct communion with the Lord in the heart, actually. He's the one who helps us to get intelligence. Now, another meaning of Buddha Yoga means intelligent persons will take to it, just like who is intelligent, he'll probably say, he will think, why wait many births? Like it says in Gita, Bhagavatam Jamanamante. The mental speculators have to wait so many births. Why not surrender immediately? So that's intelligence. And what takes them so many births to surrender? It is, they have to develop faith. It takes many births to get faith. Faith is very valuable. We have faith. And that's why we can surrender. So the Super Soul, he helps us if we're sincere and we try to serve him. And the vision of the devotee, Krishna book says that he sees the Super Soul everywhere. He's even in the atom. And if you can do this, you can perfect your thinking, feeling, and willing, Prabhupada says. So now, sometimes devotees think, well, maybe I should desire, instead of going back to Godhead, maybe I should desire to stay here and preach birth after birth. So Gurujan asked that question to Prabhupada. So, should I stay here birth after birth? And Prabhupada said, don't make me come back here for you birth after birth. And then Achyutananda asked that question also, which is more important, going back to God or to spread Krishna consciousness? And so Prabhupada said, one who is preaching Krishna consciousness is already back to God. Preacher means he's engaged his body, mind, and speech only to glorify the Lord. So he's Jivan Mukta, he's liberated even in this life. He's already with Krishna. And so if you're a preacher, you're in the spiritual world. So I think of people who do go out in book distribution, they experience a very close connection with Super Soul to help them speak what is good for the other person to hear. I was just watching, I just saw on Facebook, one of my friends, Nitai Priya, her name is, she's the head pujari of Alachua Temple, but she's also the head book distributor at the same time. And she takes pictures, like she had 50 pictures last time of who she distributed books to. And, the people in their cars, people everywhere. So one of these people who she distributed books to had these was a girl, and she had tattoos from head to toe. And she showed all the pictures on the video, on the Facebook. And so how did she preach to her? She said, well, Krishna also paints his body too. and the lady said, oh, wow, that's really cool. Krishna paints his body. There was another, my god sister in New York, and she was preaching to a lady. She would buy jewelry from this lady for the deities in Vrindavan, Krishna Balarani. And so one time she showed a picture to the lady who she bought the jewelry from with the earrings in their ears. And the lady said, wow, those are really beautiful boys. And then the boy said, yeah, they lived here 5,000 years ago, but they're still famous. And then the lady said, why are they so famous? This is New York City, remember now. So she said, yeah, they killed all the mafia in their village. Yeah, well, that's a good reason. Preachers, they get inspired by Super Soul to say things and to help other people to preach. And the Krishna will give us intelligence. Srila Prabhupada said, this is the only secret of success in seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead of being eager to see the Lord in some bush of Vrindavan, while at the same time engaging in sense gratification, if one instead sticks to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master, he will see the Lord without difficulty. Of course, now if you go to Vrindavan, you won't see many bushes anymore. You see a lot of buildings, a few bushes here and there. So it's not so easy. Just, of course, if you go up to Varshana and Govardhan, then you will see more Vrindavan. So, yes, when our intelligence becomes purified, then we can see the Super Soul and connect with him very easily. And we just have to be eager. Eagerness is the qualification of being able to see Krishna and serve Krishna also. There was one devotee in Bombay who was very eager to see Srila Prabhupada. In Bombay, they do. And he was in jail. Of course, now he must have been a little older, maybe a teenager or 20s. And he got back to Godhead in the jail. Saw a picture of Prabhupada. And Prabhupada had a very expensive watch. He said, I must get that watch. And so he joined the temple. He said, I must see your guru. So then, to always chant the holy name. Please do not put me into forgetfulness. You're sitting within me as Super Soul, so you can put me into forgetfulness or into remembering you. So please do not put me into forgetfulness. Please always remind me to chant. Even you send me into hell, it doesn't matter, just so long as I can always chant Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda are singing a very nice song in which they're requesting everyone to please chant Hare Krishna and come along with them. So that is our request to everyone. Now, Radha Krishna Bolo Bolare Shabbat, that's it. Bhajan, Prabhupada is quoting, referring to. So I'll stop here if there's any questions, comments, and ask at this time. Jai Puritai, they've come to take us. No. Garanga Nityananda. Come along with us. Yeah, so a few devotees decided to come along today with Puritai. Yes, yeah, that's even rare for devotees to come to Bhagavatam class sometimes. Yeah, before we all lived in the temple, and everyone mostly was at class. And when you all live outside, it's a whole other thing. Okay, so you have any questions, comments this time? No. Okay, no problem. Bless Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Narayani, Mataji ki jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai.